What is up, guys? Thank you for joining in with us again at Shady Sports Network. You guys know me, 303 Jim, aka Said Sells Homes, aka Cedric. I'm here again with my main man, Shawnee. Fantasy football guru in my eyes. So we got some updates for week 9 fantasy football. So we'll go ahead and kick it off. Shawnee, I'll just go ahead and toss it over to you and let you get started.
Right on, right on. Good evening, Jem. Thanks for the intro, bro. Appreciate it.
Yes,
And
sir.
I hope everybody's having a great week. We're getting ready to go into week 9 here. And Jem and I just wanted to touch base with you guys on the Thursday night game and just touch briefly on a couple of the trades that have happened here at the deadline. So obviously, Thursday night game. We're going in tomorrow, and it's going to be Philly in Houston.
Yes,
And
sir.
those Philadelphia Eagles still undefeated, looking real good, looking real tough on both sides of the football. And Jim and I were having a little conversation before we got started, and we're just bouncing back and forth, seeing if there's anything we think that Houston can do. They got a strong front. Obviously, they got a strong guy, strong running back in the mix. You got Damian Pierce, who this week is obviously going to be a lineup lock for you guys. Coming off another great week. That's lineup block number 1 that I wanted to talk about. And this week, injury related, just got a notification that Nico Collins, wide receiver
Oh,
for
man.
Houston, is going to be out this week. He's going to be sidelined with an injury, which is going to open up the doors for Brandon Cooks to get a little bit bigger of the target share. And I think this is going to be, if there was ever a game where he could, come back, prove something, bounce back, and have a little bit bigger piece of the pie, it's going to be this week. He was looking to be traded. There was lots of, from what I hear, lots of people asking about him, and Houston didn't let him go. And I think there's a big reason for that, is because Houston wanted to keep him, and he's been bounced around a lot, that man. But I think he can find his way into a flex spot in deep leagues. You just got to put your faith in him this week. I have a good feeling about Brandon
Do
Cooks.
you, do you think he's gonna? Do you think he's gonna play?
I mean, at this point he's questionable, but from what I hear, he'll be limited in practice. So, if he's limited in practice and he's trying to get some reps in, I hope he will.
Mm-hmm.
If he's in
Yeah.
the mix, I'll consider him a flex play, but we'll find out. I guess he's going to be, at this point, it's going to be a game time decision tomorrow. So if you can't put him in your lineups and he does end up sidelined, at least you got other options on your bench or on the waiver that you can plug in his place.
Okay. And then what about on the Eagles side? I mean, I know we have Jalen Hurts. He's a must start every week, and I would say their defense is a must start. Is there anyone else?
I'm gonna just, Miles Sanders is always just in that mix, and he was running the ball. He had a couple of big breaks. So, yards after contact. I mean, he was impressing me. I watched the game last week. I was lucky enough to get the game, and he just looked good. The eye test was there. He was good, and the running back situation has been so up and down. To get an RB1 that is going to start and get the RB1 reps and be in for those snaps is just so hard not to start him as such. It's just some of these backfields, there's either a committee or, people are getting traded and bounced around and you don't know who's going to get utilized where. Miles Sanders is their starting back, and I trust him to go in. He can RB1, RB2 lineup lock this week for sure. And
Okay.
then, if we're talking Eagles, you got to be talking AJ Brown. I mean, the boy last week he pulled the opposite of what Chase Claypool pulled on the Eagles back when they broke their undefeated streak. Of course, we had Big Ben back then, but Chase Claypool had 3 touchdowns in a game where we broke Philly's undefeated streak, and I forget what year that was. It was some years back, but this past week, A.J. Brown, 3 touchdown catches, and the yards were obscene as well. So A.J. Brown, wide receiver 1, lineup lock to the eye test, amazing. The floor is there, and if the ceiling is going to be 3 touchdowns plus 100-yard plus game,
Right.
and he's targeted 10 to 12 times, there's no way. And then you can who's their other wide receiver? Come on, I can't believe I can't even think of him right now.
Dang, I was just talking about him last night too.
He's been man, I keep seeing him on, I think it's Reagan's bench. I forget who else. He hasn't been in much lately, and he hasn't been doing too much lately.
Who, Devontae Smith?
Yeah, Smith. Yeah, there you go. I think he's their slot guy, and I don't know. I've been seeing him on benches. It's not like he's available on the waiver, but as far as this week goes, with a team that gets that much done on offense, it's hard not to consider anybody on that, getting a share of that, of the passes, that target share, and out there for that many snaps, be out there running routes to not be on some type of radar. So I think you can probably consider him a flex option in deep leagues. But obviously, I think the way things are going, people probably maybe have something a little better in that. But in your 12 to 14 team leagues, if you're, running deep, I mean, the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles, they're putting up points weekly. You never know who it's going to be.
Well, I mean, Fantasy Pros has Devontae Smith ranked as around their 20th best receiver.
Yeah, so he would be in starting lineups. He would be in starting lineups. So there you go. I think they're looking at that Houston defense as a defense that is, they're good, but they're, mediocre at best. They're not going to be, I don't know. I don't see them breaking the win streak, but anything can happen on any given Thursday, Sunday, or Monday.
Well, I was gonna say with that, it feels like Thursday night games are usually a little bit lower scoring.
Yeah, they have been. They were the first several weeks of the season. You just hear these commentators like, "Oh man, this has been rough to be here through these." I forget. Excuse me. I forget what game it was though on Thursday night that just absolutely went off. I forget which game it was. It turned around. I think it was week 5 or 6 where it just turned around and whoever was playing just started putting them up. But Thursday nights, I mean, it's considered a primetime game, but you look for the matchups on these, and that's what you want to be special. But that's not always the case. Sometimes it's these games that we look at where we don't think, oh, that's going to happen, where, they're neck and neck, or, somebody puts up a big fourth quarter comeback. So we'll just have to wait, watch, and see. But as far as fantasy football goes, light on the Houston side. Houston defense against those Eagles, they rank really low. You're not going to be starting Houston D. And Philly's D, obviously number 1 defense against Houston. Davis Mills, Dameon Pierce is their biggest weapon. So probably going to be the number 1 defense rated going in, the Eagles. So you're going to be giving them the start. But other than that, fantasy relevant, not much more to go on.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's great. Thursday night, you're usually, I mean, with this one, it feels like you do have a few players that I feel like a lot of teams will be dependent on for sure.
Most definitely.
There's more reason to watch it for sure. We'll see. I think that, and to see if the Eagles are going to suffer their first loss, we'll probably have a good amount of watchers this Thursday. So,
yep, yeah. That would be crazy to see.
I won't be surprised if there's record-setting viewership in. Like you said, you have AJ Brown. We'll see, and it'd be nice to maybe see a couple records broken. So. I'm interested to watch it for sure.
Oh man, I'm there. Trust me. I don't miss a Thursday or a Monday, and this one's no different. I'm not gonna dog anybody. Watching Philly's interesting no matter what. And dude, I'm a Houston. I mean, I love Brandon Cooks. Like I said, I took him in every single one of my drafts for a big reason. He's 1,000-yard receiving, 1,000-yard plus receiver for the last 3 seasons. He may be traded a lot, and then Dameon Pierce. I mean, this kid is doing things, and he's obviously sticking in, and we're going to be hearing his name for the next several years. whether it's NFL related or fantasy related, because he's relevant in all those worlds. So,
Yeah.
I'm definitely tuning in, and I'm definitely anxious to see.
Cool. Sounds good, man. Well, thanks for the update.
Of course.
Got anything else?
I mean, I didn't know if I want to maybe get your opinion on a couple of things. Number one, you are our Broncos man. You're our Broncos fan. How did it feel to see Chubb go for Edmonds?
It sucked obviously to see Chubb goes, because it does feel like there goes our season. Nothing really to look forward to for this season, but at the same time, it was good because they were able to kind of make up, a few of those draft picks they lost in the Russell Wilson trade. We picked up that first, which we can do, multitude of things. We can trade up, we can trade down. Now we have a better package to trade up if we wanted to. So I think in the future it will help. So I like it, but it did hurt to see Chubb go, because it felt like this might have been the year where he was going to pop. But there's no reason for him to pop if we're losing.
Right.
Honestly, I'd rather see what Draymond Jones can do. I'd rather see what Baron Browning's going to do. See what we got on Randy Gregory. And Chase Edmonds, man. They compared him to Austin Eckler when he came out, and he's essentially on the Austin Eckler track. I mean, honestly, he's where he is right now in his career is where Austin Eckler essentially was at that point in time, running great routes, not necessarily breaking off the really big plays, but he's super smart. And I think I hope we have a chance to see him with Javonte, because they're going to be a good 1-2 punch. So I feel like Edmonds is going to be one of those guys that stick around, because I feel like I don't know why they haven't gotten rid of Melvin Gordon yet, but we'll see what they do with him. They've been giving Murray, I feel like, more touches anyway. So Murray is essentially our lead back. But I think it was a good trade, and we did what we could do. They weren't going to pay Bradley Chubb, so might as well get rid of him instead of losing him for nothing.
Yeah, I feel you. It was really good to see some strategy come out of all that, with the draft picks and everything, making up for Russ. That was a great point. I love that, dude. And it is hard, because when you think of the Denver defense, there's a couple names that come to mind, and Bradley Chubb is one of them.
Well, kinda. He's
it
good. He wasn't great though.
Yeah,
he definitely wasn't on the tier Von Miller was when he first came into the league.
No, but living in Denver, being a Denver fan, that if you talk about the Denver defense, that Chubb as a linebacker's name is going to come up. He's going to be one of those guys that are in the pictures on a mural painted on one of the sides of the buildings. It's just, he made a staple for himself as that. And he's been a decent enough playmaker. It's not like he's setting sack records or anything, and I think that was a good move, to compare him to Eckler. Look who has the experience, as being Eckler's backup, and then as well as Javonte's is Melvin Gordon. But the man can't hold on to the football. Now, he had a decent game last week, Gordon did. He scored a touchdown, and he had some decent yardage. I had him in a flex spot because I had no other choice, and he scored me 14.2 points, and I was so surprised that he did. But I like the comparison to Eckler. I really do. Chase Edmonds, they were dogging him in Miami, and it wasn't because he wasn't able to get it done. It's because Raheem Mostert has been getting it done.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be the guy behind the guy that they're putting all their faith in, why not come into somewhere where the number one is out for the rest of the season and show these guys that, hey, look, I'm what Melvin Gordon isn't. Let me get that starting role, or let me get that backup role, behind.
Yeah.
And so that's good stuff. And then on my end,
I just want to say, hold on. First off, I want to say I wish we would have tried to trade Chubb for CMC.
Oh my God! I think anybody who's anybody in the NFL and a fan of their team would say that. You know what I mean? Look what that boy did. He's over there setting. He had a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and a passing touchdown, all in the same game. Now, the last time that was done, I forget who they said it was, but it's been a mighty long time. And then the last thing I want to touch on before we jump off real quick, we're gonna make tonight's pretty quick since it's just a
Well,
Thursday.
we got a question for you.
Oh, let's see what we got.
Full
Evening
PPR.
Jets, full PPR. Start one. AJ Dillon, Kyle Pitts, or Devontae Smith. Worried about the Eagles just running down Texas. See, this was my thing. Miles Sanders to the eye test looked really good last week, and I'm thinking they're going to stick to that regimen. Aaron Jones he's going to have too much of this year. AJ Dillon for me is out of the mix on that one, and Kyle Pitts matchup relevancy this week. I'm not going to put my faith in him. Oh,
You don't think so? He's
I
been
mean,
warming up the past few weeks. I feel like I'm deciding between Pitts and Zach Ertz.
that's what I'm saying. I think there's better options than Pitts.
Really?
Is all. I just think that there's better. I think Hayden Hurst is a better option. I think Ertz is a better option. I think that Gerald Everett is a better option. I think that there's waiver wire tight ends that have a better chance of going off this week than Kyle Pitts. And
Yeah.
if this is going to be the case, and the only reason I'm getting to that point is that Devontae Smith is going to be the one who's going to get that spot out of those three guys. Is all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel that too. Because I feel like they're about to put a lot of attention on AJ Brown because they don't want him to score 3 touchdowns on them.
Exactly.
So
they're going to be
they're
double
about to-
teaming him. So,
Mhm.
these guys are going to have to do a lot of RPOs or a lot of quick flashes to the slot, So I think that really Devontae Smith, he's going to see, and I mean, even if he sees 15 to 20% of the pass share, we'll call that 6 to 8 passes. If he hauls in every single one of those, that boy is just as capable of yards after catch as anybody. So, yeah, out of those three, my opinion, Devontae Smith. Pitts is definitely a second to that. If you got him and you got the faith, and AJ Dillon for me is a no go this week. Aaron Jones just looks too good. He's coming in projected at almost 20 this week. Their running game, that's what they've realized is that they need to rely on him, and they've done it. So, yeah, and they didn't get Claypool like I thought they were going to. He went to the Bears, surprisingly.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about that trade?
I,
Just to touch on it quickly.
Fields is Fields, and I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities where Claypool thinks he's open and Fields doesn't, and he just takes off and runs it, and I can see Claypool getting frustrated, or they have this ungodly chemistry out of nowhere, and Chase Claypool he's a big wide receiver, and he creates a big target. And he's a route running madman, and he has deep threat capability, and he's got sure hands. So, if anything, he's a weapon, and he's been added to a team that needs the help at the wide receiver position. So I mean, I hope that that's where Claypool wanted to end up. And I wish him nothing but the best. Either way, they did a lot of smart adding to that team with Roquan and Claypool. They made no dumb moves, by the trade deadline by any means. The Bears, but do they make 100% sense? Maybe not to me, but that's why I'm not, the head coach or the defensive,
Right.
or the offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears. But yeah, I wish him nothing but the best. That's all. I hope to see him do big things.
I hear you there. Sounds good, man. Well, shoot. Anything else? You got anything else for us for Thursday?
No, this was a quick one, man. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. I hope everybody has a great week 9. We are going to be checking back in with you on Friday or Saturday this week. Gemini and myself, we're going to bring you all the waiver wire ads for the Sunday, Monday game. We're going to be bringing you our rankings, power rankings, who to start at flex, what injuries we have, what to expect on guys, quarterbacks, and the whole 9 fantasy related, either Friday or Saturday this week. We'll put something out to let you guys know here by let's say tomorrow night or Friday afternoon to let you guys know when for sure. But look forward to week 9 and wish you guys nothing but the best. And we're going to watch Houston and Philly kick it off for us tomorrow, and then we'll get going on the rest of the week, Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, and y'all that win your leagues, go ahead and send us 5%. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Like I said, it's Shady Sports Network. We actually have a message from one of our sponsors. Let me see if I can find that. I was supposed to say that at the beginning, but I mean, I was just too into this, man, and I forgot about it. So
Let's
let
see
me
what we
see if
got.
I can throw it on really quick if I can find that. Yeah, so I just want to say that we're sponsored by the bank Current. It's an app, and I'll be posting our code. So that way, if you use our code when you open an account and use direct deposit, you can receive $50 for using that code, and it helps us out keeping the lights on. So, we got that. The bank Current. I'll be posting the information in the chat, so you guys will be able to find that there when you go back and rewatch this. Also, thanks for watching. I'll post up links where you can find Sean if you want to connect with him, talk football, join up in our league, see about our league. We get it going in there, we get it popping.
Scored 199 this week. That's right.
Yeah, he did. He almost scored 200 in both leagues, but we'll leave that alone. We'll get back to that when we talk for the rest of the weekend when we have the longer session. Thank you guys for watching. Again, 303 Jim, aka Said Sells Homes. You can find me at Said Sells Homes for all your Colorado real estate needs. You can find us at shadysportsnetwork.com and on all the social medias. Have a great day, guys.
Have a great night.